Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Was Created By the Otsutsuki Clan. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, remember if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Became the God of Space, Time and Will over Anime King 2. And stay tuned for a brand new episode coming over Anime King. Yes, if you're new, that's correct. I indeed have 3 channels: Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day. Links will be down in the description, so go ahead and check them out guys. And also remember to turn on that bell notification to see exactly when I post. So without further ado, with this to begin this new episode start, the intro. So the last spot we left off, Naruto went down there to face off against Gaara. As the people that knew about exactly what Gaara was, they were a bit worried. Kushina and Minato to be exact. They knew that Naruto was strong, but Gaara seemed to be a psychopath who was hell-bent on just causing pure destruction. As from the way he spoke and kept on screaming about mother, and also taking Naruto's blood. As the match started out, Yujito and everyone watched, as Naruto was evading all of Gaara's attacks. Despite the sand being fast, Naruto evaded all of his strikes, which caused Gaara to get angry and angrier, as he started to release more and more sand. The fight happened like this for a while until Gaara threatened to take everything away from Naruto. It was then that a bit of the old Naruto from his past sunk in. Gaara got the beating of his life. Naruto's actions frightened Kushina a bit. Her son never wanted to be a ninja. As she wondered, was this all her fault? Did she peer pressure him without even noticing? Did he do this for her to become a ninja because he was always the peaceful, the loving kind out of all of them? Out of Menma and Mito, he never chose to take up fighting. She wondered if he only did it because he saw the others doing it as well. Naruto was able to get a hold of himself though. In the end, he performed a sealing jutsu that was able to knock out Gaara and restrain him from going crazy, even while knocked out. Temari and Conqueror were shocked. Their father would not like this one bit, as they still couldn't believe that one shinobi was able to take down Gaara by himself. It just seemed impossible. The rest of the matches went on, as several people went down there to fight. Yujito gave Naruto a wink as she went down there to face off against Kiba. She flirted with Kiba as he let his guard down, and she knocked him out with one hit. Ino didn't like that as she was winking towards Naruto, as it pissed her off. The rest of the matches took place as they move on. They were all gathered as they looked towards the scoreboard. They will be fighting in 1 month time, with the first match set as Shikamaru versus Temari. The next match was Kankuro versus Shino. The third match will be Yujito versus Remy, and the fourth match will be Naruto versus Inabi. Inabi smiled hearing that. It was finally time for him to defeat Naruto in a public area, and Menma vs Rock Lee was the 5th match. And then Mito vs Neji. They were given 1 month. Kushina took Naruto away as she spoke to him, as she was already crying, as she blamed herself if he didn't want her to become a ninja in the first place, if she unconsciously pressured him to do this. But he hugged her and spoke to her. It made her feel better. Well, he had to train for the month, as she wanted him to kick Inabi's ass. Inabi was always acting like he was better than her son, so now it's finally time for him to kick his ass. So with that, they all separated, as none of them could be trained by one person because perhaps they will either fight each other as well. The Kazekage was furious to what happened with Gaara, but it doesn't matter, it will not change the plans, As for Orochimaru, the sand was not the only village and the sound was not the only village that he had gathered on his forces. Konoha would be attacked from all sides. There was no way, not even with the power that Minato had, that they would survive this attack, especially with them not containing that tail beast. Konoha will be evaporated. It will be wiped away. So the kids all split up the train, as Kushina taught them Fuinjutsu, while they split up with their different teachers. Jiraiya, he came there to give them a present as he wanted them to sign the Toad Summoning contract. Tsunade already told Mito that she wanted to become the next Slug Summoner, so Mito was against it, but he had Menma and Naruto sign it. The moment Naruto signed it, the Great Elder Toad started to scream in pain as he collapsed to the ground in Mount Miyaboku. When they tried to summon Toads, nothing arrived. A Toad came by and told Jiraiya that they were having some problem right now, so he was gonna have to wait until they sort things out. Jiraiya was a bit bummed out that he never got to show them how awesome Toads were, but he guessed he will have to wait. So with that, they separated. Naruto was surprised as Yujito came to him, as she said that she'd like to talk to him. So yeah guys, basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the Blazer of yourself. Remember to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was the God of Space, Time and Will, and enjoy that guys. And remember, for new, yes I did have 3 channels. Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3. Which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support, and yeah, without further ado, what do you say we just get right into it guys. Let's start it now. It was almost like she has been in Konoha the entire time, considering that she was the one leading him towards the training ground. She brought him towards training ground 7 as they came to a stop in front of the poses. He stood there looking at her as her back was turned to him. He waited for her to say something. The next second she spun around. Her nails were extended as she was aiming towards his face. Naruto backpedaled a bit as the hand whipped past him. She wasted no time as she pounced forward. She was fast, but Naruto could see her movements. She slammed both hands on the ground. As she brought her leg up, he crossed his arm in an X motion as her feet slammed against it. She then used his body as a propeller as she pushed herself off him. Flipping the air, she flashed two hand sign before she breathed out a nice sized fireball down towards him. As Naruto jumped away, it hit the ground. She landed as she tilted her head to the side, as Naruto was more confused. "Why are you attacking me?" "I thought so," she said, as Yujito looked him over. She seemed to be analyzing him. As Naruto was confused, she stepped forward. He could tell that she showed no sign of aggression, as she stopped a few feet away from him. She raised her hand as she poked him right in the nose. "Your guard." "My guard? It's not up," she said. "It's almost like you know whether I'm going to attack or not. I watched you throughout your fight with that Gaara guy. Never once were you actually fighting for real. The only time you fought for real was when I saw it. Something inside of you snapped when you mentioned about hurting your family. It was a quick flash of golden light, so quick it was barely noticeable. But other than that, you're not fighting for real. The other Genins might think that you're giving it your all, but you're not one bit. It's almost like you know that you cannot be defeated. It's almost like you know your enemies cannot win against you. Just a moment ago, there was no sign of aggression, despite me full on attacking you in your own village. Despite not knowing the reason why I attack you, and yet you let me walk right up to you and touch you on the nose like that. Unaware if I was gonna attack you or slash you again. You still let me touch you. Why?" "I could just tell," he said. "I didn't sense any aggression from you." "So you're a censor," she said. "Yeah, you can say that. I've never heard of a censor who can directly feel someone feeling, especially knowing if they were gonna attack." As she looked towards him, her nails extended as she thrust her hand towards his face. He did not move as her nails stopped inches away from his eye. A smirk came on her face. "You're one peculiar person. I've been watching you. Out of all the other Genins here, you're the one that excites me the most," she said. "I do I?" said Naruto. "Yes," she said as she looked him over. "It's almost like you've never had an opportunity to truly push yourself. to truly show people what you're capable of. As she walked around him, he did not move. Why do you love fighting strong opponents? Naruto asks. Oh well, it's a part of my dream. Your dream? To become the strongest in the world. Not just among the kunoichis or the shinobis. The strongest surpassing everyone. So that is the reason I have to continuously fight in strong opponents. To confirm to myself that I have surpassed some of the best. Until I reach the very end. So you think of me as such, said Naruto. Well, not really. But you're unknown to me. I can tell about everyone else here. Even your brother and sister. I can see the way they fight. I've been analyzing people since I was a child. And I can feel their aggression. The way they move. To tell if they were serious or not, but to you on the other hand, it's just nothing. It's almost like you don't want to do this, but at the same time, you're not afraid of anything. Even when fighting that Gaara guy. I know that you know what he is. He's a Jinchuriki. Judging from your face, I can tell that you know. You're not surprised at all, she said. You're the son of the Hokage. And your mother was the former host of the Nine Tails. As Naruto raised the eyebrow. There was a scandal back in the day. With Kumo and Konoha. Your mother is Kushina Uzumaki. The red hot habanero, isn't she? Yes, that's correct, said Naruto. Then you know the power of a Biju, don't you? And that Gaara guy was a psychopath. His power was uncontrollable. And yet you were unafraid. But the moment he threatened your family, I saw this other side of you. That side, it intrigued me. There was a grin on your face. At that point you enjoyed doing what you were doing. You enjoyed beating the living crap out of him. You loved it. It was almost like it was natural to you. To cause someone pain and anguish. That's the person I want to fight in the finals. The look on his face, it remained, but he looked up. And what made you believe that you and I will be at the end? Oh, I have a feeling, she said. And my feelings are never wrong. As she stepped closer to him, incredibly close, to the point where their noses were almost touching. She reached out and placed a hand over his heart. Not even a slight jump, she said. She looked in his eyes. Are you into guys? She asked. No, said Naruto as he shook his head. And yet you're so calm, even with me being this close to you. Naruto Namikaze, you are an enigma. And you intrigue me, she said. Out of everyone else here within Konoha. And I will find out more about you. As she leaned in toward his ear. And that's a promise, she said. Her hand still rests on his chest. And with that she shunshed away. She appeared a distance away. Did you sense anything? She asked. It was just like before. There is nothing, said Inabi, as she spoke to her. When that golden energy came up, I felt something abnormal. I'm not sure exactly what it was. But every other time there is nothing. It's almost like he's just normal, but that feeling was definitely not normal. He is truly an interesting one, said Yujito. He's not flustered. He's not bothered. He's just so calm. Well, it seems that my little kitten has found herself a crush. Yujito shook her head at that. Guys are the ones usually falling for me, not the other way around. Well, getting so up and close to him and personal, other than his heartbeat increasing, yours went up. He's not like that other dog boy. With just a single glance, you send him into a frenzy, but this one, he's so calm, collected. He had his head on straight. And not to mention, he's holding back so much. You can't wait to sink your teeth into him to find out what he's truly capable of. To see what kind of man he truly is. Come on, now you're just doing this on purpose. You know you're making things worse, right? Said Yujito as Inabi simply laughed. She enjoyed riling up her container. Maybe it was because of their close bond. That is why she had gotten some of the Inabi instincts. Her cat-like features and everything about her. But the girl was one always for a good fight. But sometimes she couldn't help herself. And around this Naruto Namikaze, she was finding it hard to stay away from him. But he intrigued her, more than anyone else here. And considering there was a lot of people here, well, she was looking forward to seeing him in the finals. So with that, she made her way, with a smile on her face. Meanwhile, at Mount Miyaboku, the great elder Toad was unresponsive. Jiraiya was surprised. At first he thought the Toad time had came, because he was rather old. But from what they told him, something happened. And Jiraiya thought this was his fault. "Jiraiya boy, is there something you're not telling us?" said Ma. As her and Paul stood beside each other. "The time frame. They're rather close," said Jiraiya. "Time frame," said Paul. "I had Naruto and Menma sign the Toad summoning contract yesterday." Paul looked at him confused. "I don't see what that have to do with anything. Think about it. Has this ever happened before?" As another Toad came over. "Ah, Shiratota, tell us exactly what happened." The small orange Toad spoke. "As I was saying, he was just sleeping as usual. He then woke up and he started to cry, screaming out in pain. But when he fell, he said a few words. He said they're coming, and then he said annihilation." Jiraiya and the Toads looked toward each other confused, none of them having any idea what the Toad meant. They turned their heads and looked towards him as he was still in a sleep that he didn't seem to be waking up from anytime soon. He had slept before, but he seemed like he had no intention of waking up. He wasn't dead, he was clearly alive. But they weren't sure what exactly to do. Healers here at Mount Miyaboku had no idea what was going on. Their nature engine was not helping. Something was definitely wrong. Ma and Pa ensured Jiraiya that it couldn't be what he did, as summoners had signed the Toad contract before, including Minato, and him as well. So why would having those two child sign the summoning contract cause this? It didn't seem possible, and not to mention, yes, while it is Toads that you're summoning, it's not like the contract is directly signed to the Great Elder Toad's soul or something like that. So it made absolutely no sense. Time skip. The time flew by rather quickly. With all the training going on, it was finally time for the exam. The exam was buzzing with people. Abnormal amount of people. Some of them even had to stand in the back. People were here to witness the greats, the future greats. The three children of Minato Namikaze, the three young prodigies. People were here to see them. As people heard that, the Kazekage's son of Powerhouse was defeated. Not to mention he was a Jinjoki, he was defeated by Minato's son. People were eager to see Naruto perform. They were also here to see the daughter of Fukaku of the Wicked Eye, Remy Uchiha. People were excited to watch the matches that were going to take place. Not to mention the rising star Kunoichi of Kumo Yujito. As the fights were going to be something of an epic showdown this time. Up in the Kage's boot, Minato, the Kazekage, was on his left. It didn't take too long as a bulky man arrived. "Ah, greetings, Raikage-dano," said Minato. The Raikage greeted Minato with a nod of his head. It might not look it, but he had great respect for the man. The man was able to outpace him when they fought. The Raikage respected a few things in this world, and speed and strength. Power was on top of that list. As the Kazekage greeted the Raikage as well, he was wearing a veil, not exposing his face. Minato had noticed that, but he thought it was just a fashion design. Down in the stands you had different sections. The sections for the Uchiha. In the stands, right at the Uchiha, was a man. He had dark eyes, standard Uchiha, black hair, but he had a scar on his cheek, like someone had gashed him with a sword. This was the father of Inabi. His name was Okamai Uchiha. His left leg was badly wounded, as he walked with a cane, something that happened to him in the Third Great Shinobi War. He was one of the top members of the Uchiha clan, with several different degrees, like influence, power, and all that. He came from a strong background, just like Fukaku as well. He was also in line to become the next clan head, but Fukaku took the spot. He was always a bit jealous, but his son was the one that made it to the finals. Fukaku's son Sasuke had failed, but his daughter was still in there. But he himself had trained Inabi from he was younger. His mother had passed away. He had trained Inabi to be the perfect shinobi. Inabi was his pride and joy, and he was going to face the son of Minato. This was a perfect opportunity for their name to be up there once again, to be on top. Inabi was his heir. He will be known soon enough as the strongest Uchiha, to surpass the likes of Itachi Uchiha as well. As that made Okamai smirk. Next to the Uchihas, or the Aburmes, silent and calm, there were the Hyugas, as they were here to support Neji despite the ear for the clan not being in there. Hisashi had a smile on his face as Hinata sat beside her sister and her father, as she was happy that Neji moved on. Despite her feeling, she was happy, as he was carrying the clan name rather well. The rest of the other clans were there. In a special little spot, Minato, Kushina, and several of her closer friends were. As they were all here to witness, Kushina had a big smile on her face as she looked down towards her 3 babies. But they weren't babies anymore. She had thought about it over the past month. Once this whole exam was done, she will speak to Minato. She wants another baby. She has made up her mind. As the place was bustling with activity, people were betting. A lot of bets went towards the 3 siblings, most of them regarding Naruto as they heard about his, well, defeat of Gaara. A lot of members bet on Yujito as well. They heard that the girl was a rising, talented kunoichi, said to be on par Jonin level already, some say. As that was a rather shocking news, the Raikage smirked, as he knew despite Yujito being the only Kumo ninja, she would wipe away the competition like it was nothing. She had informed about that boy, but she said that she didn't get enough information on him. Naruto Namikaze. He seemed like a simple child, he thought to himself. Meanwhile, as Naruto glanced up towards the crowd, he noticed his mother as he smiled towards her. As she saw him, as she smiled back, the others looking as well. But Naruto's eyes focused behind her. 2 individuals sat in the far back. People stood in front of them. They could not see, so why were they all the way up here? But that was not the reason why Naruto noticed them. It was their chakra. It felt so off. He did not understand what was his feeling. It was like they were hollow, empty. As Naruto was confused. Maybe it was ninjas from other nations. Maybe it was spies. Here to just watch the exam. He knew that they wouldn't try anything given that his father was up there. And most of the powerful Konoha ninjas were here as well. So they wouldn't try anything stupid. He focused back on the exam. Minato got to his feet. "Alright everyone," he called out, using chakra to extend his voice all over the arena. As he gave the people a speech, telling them the reason of the Chunin Exams, to bring the other nations together. It was a substitute for war. People were cheering once he was finished. "Nice speech, Hokage-dano," said the Kazekage with a smile. "Why thank you," said Minato, as calm as ever. He chuckled a bit. "I hope you give a great one when Yujito is declared the winner of the exam." As Minato chuckled. Well, I'm not above a little healthy competition," he said, "saying that you believe that your kunoichi is gonna win. You two speak like I'm not here. My son Gaara may have been disqualified, but I assure you, his brother and sisters have been preparing for this, and they will be able to handle themselves against any opponent. I will say this right now," said the Raikage. "All of your ninjas and kunoichis will fail in front of Yujito. When she reaches the finals, you all will understand. Quite confident, are you?" said Minato. "But I guess we'll just have to wait and see." "Well, you all wait," said the Raikage. "You will see." As Minato handed the reins over to Genma. "Alright," said Genma. "The rules are going to be just like the preliminaries. I can stop the match at any time. You all understood, he said. They all nodded. Alright then. The first match. Shikamaru versus Temari of the Sun. Rest of you head up towards the contestant booth. As they made their way, Naruto glanced towards Remy, as he hadn't seen her in 2 weeks. As he looked her up and down, she was wearing a different clothing. She was wearing a tight, black bodysuit with a Uchiha crest on the front. As she was wearing a jacket over it, sleeveless, the black suit had long sleeves. As Naruto noticed markings on her wrists, seals, storage seals to be exact. As she hid them well though, she was wearing long black pants that fit her perfectly, as she was wearing a pouch on her thigh, as she was wearing open-toe sandals. As Naruto looked over and gave her a smile. It seems like you've changed. She looked him over. He was wearing a red and black shirt. It seemed to be made for him, the design, with the Uzumaki crest on it. His hair was tied up as usual. He was wearing black pants and open-toe sandals. She couldn't see any pouch on him at all. As Naruto noticed, something was on her back, but because of the jacket he could not see. But it was poking out a bit. It seemed to be a blade. I hope you're ready, she said. And I never got to tell you this. If we both make it to the finals, I hope you don't hold back. While we are good friends, and we are on the same team, this is a chance for us to show ourselves and what we're capable of. So no joking around. I've been preparing and training for this. You understand, she said. As Naruto placed a hand on her shoulder. I would never disrespect you like that. I'll give it all I got, he said. She nodded at that, even though that was a straight lie, as he couldn't really do that. He didn't really want to hurt her. As they made their way up, as they arrived at the booth. So, who do you think is gonna win? Said Michiwa as she glanced down. Well, in the strategy department, I think Shikamaru has her beat. But in the raw power department, that fan of hers looked quite sturdy, said Naruto. My sister has this in the bag, said Kankuro. Oh, you think so? Said Naruto, as he turned towards him. Yeah, you just watch and see. She's gonna blow that guy away. Raw power doesn't always win a match, said Yujito. Huh? Hey, what are you trying to say? Said Kankuro. Oh, nothing much. I'm just saying that raw power does win a match. What's so hard to understand in that? Are you trying to say my sister is dumb? He asked. Oh, far from it, she said. I was not implying that. I apologize if you misheard me, she said, with a sweet tone. As Kankuro started to blush as he looked at him. Oh, it's alright. As Minma noticed, this girl had charms, as she got that guy falling for her rather quickly, seeing that he was blushing like a storm now. She then turned her gaze towards Naruto. His face was as calm as ever, not even the slightest twitch. As Remy noticed that, she was looking at him quite intently, but she didn't say anything. The match down below started out. As Shikamaru and Temari stood there, Temari made the first move, as she sent a wave towards Shikamaru. As the fight began, up in the booth, Naruto glanced towards Inabi, who was silent. Now that was strange. Usually he was all talk and all boast, not to mention seeing that they were going to fight very soon. As Naruto was not one to antagonize anyone, so he just remained quiet as well. But Inabi was smirking to himself, as he had something big planned. As he looked down towards the people, the fight down below lasted for about 2 hours. Shikamaru mostly evaded, tiring Temari out, but he also tired himself out as well, because when the time finally came for him to set his trap, as the Kages noticed that the boy was an aura indeed, his brain power. It was on a different level, as he was able to capture Temari. But the thing was, he was weakened from the attacks, so he had to give up. People were a bit upset that he gave up that easily, but if they would look close, they would see that the moment he said that, his shadow receded. As Remy shook her head, she had told him that his stamina was one of his biggest problems, but, well, did he listen to her? No, he did not, and no, he failed. Well, he didn't seem to care, and besides, they didn't have to win to become Chunins. The next match was Kankuro versus Shino. It was then that Conqueror surprised him by giving up, as everyone looked at him confused, as he didn't explain why though. Genma decided to move on to the next match, Remy versus Yujito. Good luck, said Naruto to Remy, as she smirked at him. Just watch me, she said. She made her way. 2 arms wrapped around his shoulder, as Yujito whispered in his ear. Aren't you gonna wish me luck as well, she asked, as Naruto glanced towards her face. Their face was so incredibly close that their noses were touching, despite their lips not touching. Mito was surprised by that, and so was Menma, as they couldn't believe what they were seeing. When did these two get so close? Have a good match, said Naruto. She pouted a bit, as she then smiled. Don't worry, I intend to, she said, as she made her way down there. Hey, what's going on there, said Menma. When did you two become so close? I don't really know, said Naruto as he scratched the side of his face. I never even knew that anything was there, said Mito. You two barely talk. Well, she did come by the compound. She asked me to speak to her, said Naruto. About what? Oh, nothing really serious. She just loved to fight. Wait until Ino hears this, said Mito, as Naruto glanced towards her. What do you mean, he said, as Mito gave a look. You know that would just cause problem, right, said Menma. Finally, someone on my side, said Naruto. I did say I was on your side, said Menma. Besides, it would be fun to see you squirm a bit. You're always so calm and collected, never getting riled up. As the both of them looked at each other before smiling, as they turned their grins towards Naruto. Bastards, said Naruto, as he turned his head away. It's not like he was with Ino or anything, but, well, the girl came by his house so much time, it was almost like she lived there. And they always hang out whenever he had spare time, even though none of them had really said anything about them dating or anything. His brother and sister just made assumptions. So with that, the two girls made their way down there. What's your whole deal with Naruto? Asked Remy. My. Are you perhaps jealous? Asked Yujito. No. As Yujito laughed a bit. Serious? Is he your friend? One of my best friends. Well, then you have nothing to worry about. As I said, he's one of my best friends. So I would like to know if you plan on doing anything with him. Why are you so cautious? He is his own person. I know that you've seen it already. He is kind. Like too kind for his own good. If you try anything with him, if you try to use him, I'll make you regret it. Yujito smirked. Oh, a bit feisty, are we? Maybe I will do something with him, just to see what you can do. You're gonna regret those words, said Remy. Well then, show me what you got, little Uchiha, said Yujito, as both girls had this glare heat coming from them. They seemed to be hating each other at the moment. Even though Mito was Remy's rival, Remy didn't like this girl one bit. Remy knew that Naruto was kind. He would go out of his way to help people, and be kind for no reason at all. While being kind was a good thing, he was just too kind. And this girl, throwing herself all over the place, the way she tried to seduce Kiba and all that, she just didn't want her to ruin and mess with Naruto's feelings. Alright, begin! As Mikoto smiled seeing her daughter, as she was really looking forward to his Chunin exams, Fukaku focused on the girl. He was looking at Yujito. He's heard that she had strength that rivaled Jonin's. Rumors were a lot, but still. He wondered if that was true or not. Yujito sped forward, her nails extended. Poof! 2 kunais appear in Remy's hand as she launched them. Yujito deflected them to his side. Remy smirked as she yanked the threads. Yujito saw them as she flipped. But Remy wasn't done yet, as she tossed a single shuriken up in the sky. Upon tossing the shuriken, she twists and yanked by the 2 kunais. The first one reflected the shuriken towards Yujito. It was coming from behind her, but Yujito spun around and kicked the shuriken away. But the kunais on the other hand, they were coming towards her as Remy flashed her hand sign. Fire style, she said. Fire stream as she sent flames down the wires, as they whipped around Yujito in a circle. Yujito smirked at the tactic, but she flashed to a single hand as she spun. She spun as she started to generate intense heat. Fire style. Spinning inferno, she said, as she cancelled techniques. Smoke and debris filled the air as she thrust out of the smoke. To her surprise, her claw was blocked by a kunai as she looked into those eyes. Remy tried to cast a genjutsu over her as Yujito's head dropped, only for Remy to receive a brutal kick to the stomach. She was thrown back as she flipped and landed on her feet, gripping her stomach. "You're gonna have to do a lot better than that," said Yujito as she got back to her feet. The Raikage was smirking, as the smile on his face was one of happiness to see Yujito dominate the entire thing. Minato was rather quiet, as he just watched the match, because the Kage not really doing anything either, as everyone watched the match keenly. Remy flashed Johansine fire style, fireball jutsu as she launched a massive fireball. Yujito caught her claws in flames and sliced right through it, but Remy was gone. Yujito glanced around. "You think you can hide from me?" she said, as she sniffed the area. She then plunged her claws into the earth. As Remy broke out, Yujito's claws dug in her shoulder, but her body poofed away instantaneously, showing that he was a clone. But what the clone dropped was a roll of explosive notes. Yujito's eyes went wide as the explosion enveloped her. A massive explosion that rocked the entire place. A lot of people did not see it, but Naruto saw clearly. At the last second, she coated her body with the chakra of the Inabi. She had excellent control, it seems. So when she leaped out of the smoke, completely undisturbed by it, everyone was surprised that she could tank something like that. As a real Remy appeared behind her, with a blade in her hand, Yujito turned as they started to clash. Both girls enter a dangerous, violent dance of Kinjutsu versus nails. They were fighting rather hard, Remy on that hand. Yujito got sliced as Remy threw a kunai and deflected it with her blade. The girl was quite efficient in kunai and shuriken throwing techniques from she was younger, so using them at her advantage was easy for her. It was then that Yujito stepped back. She wiped the blood from her face as she licked her finger. "Now things are just getting interesting," she said, as she then went on all fours like a cat and stretched her back leg. She then propelled herself forward with a speed that surprised Remy. Remy's eyes went wide as a fist planted in her stomach. She was then uppercut. Her leg was grabbed as Yujito pulled her down and crushed her body in the earth. But Remy was not done as she lashed out her other leg. But Yujito caught and flipped her and kicked her right towards the wall. Remy flipped as she slammed into the wall, her feet slamming first though. She panted as she used chakra to attach herself to the wall. This girl was a lot stronger than she thought. The cuts on Yujito started to heal as she was smiling, finding the battle really interesting. But it seems like Remy wanted to end this as she went through hand sign. Sasuke raised her eyebrow as he watched. He was a bit jealous, yes, that he failed. But Remy told him to think of her as his will and as the hope of the clan, and cheer her on that he was winning for them. And now as she was about to use a technique, he spoke. "You can do it," he said, as Remy flashed through hand sign, gathering a large amount of chakra. "Lightning release," she said. Rage of the Raijin. Upon saying that her entire body became coated in lightning, surprising everyone. This was not a normal technique, especially for someone her age. The lightning sparked rather brightly, until it formed the head of a literal dragon. Remy then shot forward as Yujito saw that. Yujito's body started to hum with a blue glow. It seemed like blue fire was whipping off of her. A vicious grin on her lips as she thrust forward. The two girls met head on in a shower of flames and electricity as they exploded right in the center. Debris and dust filled the entire place. Everyone was dumbstruck as they waited for everything to calm down. When it finally did, it showed Yujito's nails embedded in Remy's stomach. Remy's left hand was on Yujito's wrist. Her right hand was thrust forward with a kunai, as the tip of the kunai had scratched Yujito right on the nose. but no further. Her length in arms and her reach gave her the perfect balance to keep Remy away. But Remy was exhausted, it seems, as she released the kunai. As it was falling down towards the ground, Yujito noticed that there was a wire attached to said kunai. Remy smirked as she pulled herself out. She was bleeding a bit as she leaped away. The moment the kunai touched the ground, several other kunais burst from the earth, her clone underneath the earth poofing away. As all the kunais had explosive tags on them, Yujito flashed two hands and a massive explosion went off. To everyone's shock, Yujito was surrounded by a ball of flames. Showing excellent control, the flames were changing into blue. They spiraled around her like some strange serpent without a head or a face, before she thrust her hands out. Remy's eyes went wide as she leaped away, but it struck the ground and blew her away. Yujito appeared. Remy winced as she felt her stomach in pain. Yujito delivered a combo and knocked her straight down to the ground. Yujito then pounced on her. Yujito's hand came out and grabbed her wrist before she could stab her with the kunai. As she slammed her hand into the ground and grabbed her other hand and slammed it in the ground. She then pulled her head back and head-butted Remy. Remy's eyes dazzled as Yujito released her hand before she slammed a fist in her stomach. Remy cried out in pain. She was already wounded. As she started to pant exhaustedly, Yujito's claws extended as she pulled them back. Mikado's eyes went wide, but it was then that Genma flashed in between them. As he held on to Yujito's hand, "She's done." Yujito looked down at Remy. Eyes were barely open. "Oh, I guess you're right. I didn't notice," said Yujito. As she picked herself up, the medics rushed over and took Remy away. Despite her loss, she fought with everything that she had. Yujito had a few scratch marks, which had healed up by now, as she did not need medical attention, so she calmly made her way up. Once she arrived up towards the box, she saw Naruto looking at her. "So what do you think?" She gave it her best, said Naruto. "I'm proud of her." "Come on, what about me? Aren't you gonna congratulate me for winning?" "Well, I guess congratulations are in order." "But you both did well," he said. She pouted. "I know that she's your best friend and all, but you can at least give me some recognition for my win." "I just did," said Naruto. As she pouted once again, the two of them heard something as they turned as they saw Inabi plant his fist in the wall. "Huh, seems like he really want to fight you," said Menma. "Yeah, seems so," said Mito. As they saw that Inabi was just urging to fight Naruto. "Well, he has his wish," said Naruto. "Inabi," said Naruto, "I hope you're ready." "I've been dying for this," said Inabi, with a vicious smirk. "You know that we're still comrades, right?" said Naruto. "No need to go that hard." As Inabi pointed his finger towards Naruto, "I told you once before. I will be number one," he said. As Naruto still didn't get why this guy hated him so much. It's not like he was the only strong genin, but he had something to prove, so Naruto just obliged him. As the Kages were speaking about the latest matches, many people were excited to see the next match. Akamai saw his son as he heard his name announced, Inabi Uchiha versus Naruto Namikaze. He smirked at that. Finally, he thought to himself. Mikoto had made her way, along with Fukaku and Sasuke. Itachi was nowhere to see in sight, so he had probably ordered to move towards the hospital to see if Remy was alright, but they should be back shortly. Tsunade had trained many of the medics over the past couple of years, so she was confident that he could hold things while she was not there. As Kushina was hoping that Remy was alright though, as she had known the girl from she was younger, as she hoped that she was okay. Now it was time for Naruto and Inabi to fight. Finally. That boy always tried to prove himself better than her son for some reason. Despite her son being the sweetest and kindest most person, he always tried to prove that he was better. But her son never actively tried to pursue anything between the both of them, to show that he was stronger. But now was the time for Naruto to kick his ass, Kushina thought. Tsunade chuckled to herself. "What's so funny?" Kushina said. "Well, I'm in shoe for a jackpot." You bet on my son? Kushina said. Of course. I bet that he's gonna pulverize that brat. Well, I can't argue with you there, said Kushina with a smirk. Well, I finally get to see the famous Naruto Namikaze, said the Kazekage. I assure you, he will not disappoint, said Minato. Let's see what your son is capable of, shall we? Said the Raikage, as they watched intently. Jinma asked him if they were ready. Once they were, he told them to begin as he flashed away. As the two boys stood in the arena, Inabi activated Sharingan instantly. Well then, let's do our best, shall we? No! Inabi said. Don't wish me good luck, I'm gonna kick your ass. As he dropped into his stance. Well, try your best, said Naruto, as that seemed to piss Inabi off even more. He didn't waste any time as he hurled a kunai forward. Kunai clone jutsu. It multiplied to 20, as Naruto flipped back. He moved away with top speed, dodging almost all of them. Inabi smirked though, as he flashed through hand sign. Fire style fireball jutsu. He breathed a massive flame towards Naruto. Seeing this coming, Naruto went through hand sign, as he gathered water in his mouth and spewed a water ball. It out to the flames. Inabi smirked as he picked up 3 of his kunais and launched them through the smoke. Naruto twists and dodged as he stabbed into the wall. Inabi propelled himself over Naruto as he landed on the wall, where he placed the kunais. He then flipped back away from Naruto. 2 threads were already attached to his mouth, as he spewed flames down them. He then launched 2 kunais towards the left and 2 to the right. So there was no way that he could possibly escape. Inabi watched as the fire made contact. Everyone was surprised, as they didn't see Naruto come out of there. But something strange happened with the fire. When the smoke cleared, they all saw that the flame was absorbed into a tag on the ground. As Naruto pulled up the ceiling tag, Fuinjutsu, he said, "Isn't it awesome?" He then tossed back the tag towards Inabi as the fire came out. Inabi flipped away just in time to dodge a flame that burned the ground. "Bastard," he said. He rushed forward as him and Naruto engaged in a hand-to-hand combat. Fists meeting fists, kicks meeting kicks. Everything that he threw, Naruto seemed to deflect or dodge out of the way. And Naruto was smiling, which pissed him off even more. That is when he went for an uppercut, but at the last moment he turned his fist as he drove it towards Naruto's stomach. But to his surprise, Naruto grabbed his wrist and headbutted him. He staggered back as Naruto was still holding on to his arm. Naruto delivered 3 painful punches to his stomach, causing his body to be lifted off the ground. But Naruto brought him back down with his arm before he backhanded him away. Inabi crashed on the ground. He picked himself up with a snarl. He was now furious. Fire style. Extermination dragon, he yelled. A massive flame twirled into a dragon and roared. It then came propelling down towards Naruto. "Let's see you block that." As Naruto pulled out a seal and slammed his hand on it, massive amount of water shot out of the seal. "Water style," said Naruto. "Water dome." A water dome surrounded him as the dragon made contact, filling the entire air with smoke. Naruto burst through the smoke and appeared in front of Inabi, his foot already raised. Inabi blocked it, but he fell to one knee because of the force that came down, as Naruto then kneed him right in the face, breaking his nose. Inabi fell backwards, but Naruto grabbed him by the collar and turned and threw him away. Before he ran and appeared behind Inabi and jumped, he then kicked him right down towards the ground. Inabi crashed on the ground with a groan. His father was not liking this one bit. Neither was Inabi as he picked himself up, blood dropping from his nose. How is he still better than me, Inabi thought. Yujito watched Naruto keenly, as he was not really trying. He was just so calm. It was like he wasn't even in a fight. The Raikage seemed to notice that as well. "He's so calm," he said. The Kazekage narrowed his eyes here and that, as he focused more on the child. He was right, he was so calm. It was like he was not even fighting. Minato had noticed that, but he did not say anything. He just thought that his son was superior to Inabi. He always thought, he never said so loud, but Naruto was a lot stronger than Menma and Mito, even without that strange power of his. Naruto always seemed to hold back. It was because he was too nice. Something that you can really appreciate in this ninja world where ninjas fight for kill and death. Naruto never seemed to fight for that. Even though when he got angry at losing someone, well, that power was abnormal. The Kazekage, well, should we say Orochimaru had enough? As he gave the signal, a mass envoy flashed through Hansa and his feathers came down. But that was not the problem. Kushina and Tsunade noticed instantly as they broke it. A genjutsu. But that was not the problem. Naruto turned his head when he felt it. The chakra being sent, the pulse, the orders being given towards that person. The two persons in the hood, he knew that they were nothing but some kind of fakes. "Mom!" he screamed out. Minato snapped his head to the side. The person was right behind him. It happened so fast. The person was not normal in any means. Tsunade was knocked away. It wasn't that she was not prepared, it was because of the person's face that she saw. Kushina's eyes went wide as she was impaled. Menma and Mito looked out of the boot as they saw their mother. Several wooden stakes pierced through her back. Kushina couldn't believe it. The face that surprised Tsunade was none other than Hoshirama Senju. Orochimaru smiled under the veil. A Uzumaki that can stop Bijus. He couldn't allow that. The signal was given to outside as a person and the snakes were summoned. It took less than a second for everything to just go chaotic. The Kage boat exploded with smoke. Minato flashed away, so did Raikage, the Kazekage jumping out. Hiruzen got up to his feet instantly as he was in the Sarutobi section. But the real problem was, a few seconds outside the gates earlier, Gaara gave in as a massive amount of chakra exploded outwards. On the west side of Konoha, showing towards the walls, the massive Shikaku emerged. But that was not all. There was another massive roar of steam. Steam just flew straight up to the heavens. Stepping out of said steam was a massive horse. It had a face of a dolphin, with wide 5 flowing tails. Over to the other side, as extreme amount of lava went up, and a massive 4-tailed gorilla emerged. As stone shinobis, sound shinobis started to attack the village. Inabi stood there in shock to all the chaos going around him. But he turned back towards Naruto as Naruto's eye fell on Kushina. As she looked towards her impaled form by Hoshirama Senju. Tobirama being the next one, Orochimaru had already summoned the reanimations, as he had to take Kushina out knowing that she could subdue tail beasts, which he could not allow. As Naruto looked towards everything, especially his mother, a voice in his head spoke. 80%, 81, 82, 83. It then jumped 90%, 95, 96, 100%, exceeding limit. Gold chains like tattoos appear on Naruto's body before they exploded off of him. The 5 and the 4 tails start to gather a tail beast bomb as they turn their head towards the heart of the village, away from the exam area because, well, their own men were there. As they turned their head to the heart of the village, away from their own men that were in the Chunin Exams area. But the problem was not that, the problem was Naruto, as Inabi had to step away. Inabi didn't know what the hell was this or what was going on, but he felt actual fear standing close to Naruto. And what was those chains a moment ago? Around his body like tattoos, and it broke. A voice whispered in his mind, a memory from the past. You were made to destroy. You were made to cause havoc and destruction. You're a tool, a weapon of pure chaos. As Naruto's body started to rise off the ground, a golden aura surrounding him, he turned his head to the sky and screamed. A roar that shook not just Konoha but the Fire Nation itself. Everything in the world just seemed to pause Orochimaru snapped his gaze towards what the hell that was. But he didn't know what he just did. He didn't know that he just unleashed a beast that is capable of wiping away Earth's civilization like it's nothing. There was a reason that Naruto always stayed calm. Because whenever he got too angry, whenever the wrath came out, it was the way that he was created whenever he lost pain, anguish, emotions. He were never supposed to have them. But certain things in his past, certain people, was the reason why he had so much emotions right now. The reason why he loved, the reason why he barely hate. He never supposed to have emotions. And having them was a big setback for him. That was one of the many reasons why his true body was ripped apart and he was sealed away by the Otsutsukis. Because they realized their defect problem in creating him. But that was not the only problem. The problem was they created something that they could not handle. That is why it took so much of them to seal him away. They could not even kill him. Watching his own mother that loved him since he was a baby get stabbed in front of him like that, he just snapped. And here come the beasts. The god of destruction. The eraser of civilization. Death itself. But guys, to be in subscribe right here. If you want the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below. Turn on that bell notification so you post it. But more for now. See you guys soon. Peace.